Fest and Badger shutout. So we really have seen it all here at Goodman. Welcome to the final game of the first series of the year in Madison, Wisconsin, as the Badgers take on the Maryland Terrapins. My name is Ani with Ani Nabudri, and alongside me is Johnny Raider. And Johnny, last game was the Badgers' 6th shutout of the year. What did you see?
Badgers scored 2 runs off of Mackenzie Foster's 2 RBIs, 1 single hit right to right field and to send Blomberg home, and another to left field to send King home. Her also pitched a great game, 3 strikeouts and 0 runs allowed, bottom line. And it was also huge to get King and Conjure to steal some bases, led to a 6th inning where the Badgers really capitalized off of it, and the throwing error by the catcher goes as an unearned run for Booker as well.
Yeah, Mackenzie Foster will be batting number 7 in today's lineup for the Badgers, but a first look at the Maryland lineup as we get some more highlights from yesterday's game. A key factor also being Kendall Lewis getting the save yesterday, and Fulci as well getting an inning in. But the Maryland lineup looks very similar to what happened yesterday. Major people to look out for would be people like Sammy Woods and Mariah Penta on the Wisconsin defensive side. Shelby Jacobson will take the mound with Hillary Blomberg in the backstop. Danielle Lucy, Mackenzie Foster, and Kendra Lewis will make up the outfield. Showalter, Whitten, Conjure, and Olivia Bark at third base. A lineup that only has 2 players hitting under 300 on the year.
And looking at the defensive side as well, it's really where the Badgers won the last game. No home runs hit. Big thanks to the defense and the pitching game for the Badgers. And then as we look at Maryland here for their defensive end, or their starters, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of people to look forward to. Sammy Woods. Again, this is an offense that will be definitely hoping for a better day than yesterday, but they did have a really good first day at Goodman. An exciting game that ended with a walk-off in the 7th for Wisconsin. Caitlin Olensky will also take the mound for the Terrapins, but major one to look out for Sammy Woods, one of the best hitters on that lineup.
Quiet day for her standards yesterday. Not getting on base too much. 1 for 3 at bat yesterday, 1 strikeout. But game 1 was huge for her. Her 5th inning sparked an offensive explosion with the RBI, 2 runs and an RBI for her on that day.
Let's get a look at Shelby Jacobson on the mound. 3.89 ERA on the year. Definitely a strikeout and walk type pitcher. Someone who will definitely give a lot of both. But she has taken a large chunk of the innings alongside her on the year. What do you see, Johnny?
Well, all the way in game 1, aside from 2 iffy innings, it was a really great game for her. Pitched all 7 innings. 3.75 run average. So she's looking to have a good day today.
Yeah, pitching was a major problem at the first part of the Wisconsin year. So Jacobson going to be relied on heavily after a pretty good freshman year, backing up Gabby Sallow on the circle. As we get the first pitch of the 3rd game of the series here at Goodman. Will be Bailey Murphy on the mound. Hit up straight to the second baseman. That'll be Whitten with the putout. Low exit velo on that, just a very simple high angle fly ball. 1 pitch, 1 out for Jacobson.
It's a quick start for the Badger defense to get this day rolling. For Murphy, 1 for 4 at bat yesterday, and 2 left on base.
Woods on the mound now. First pitch is high. Rise ball right up in. Jacobson waits the sign. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Sorry, the 2-0 pitch. As we get a look at Sammy Woods, 400 average on the year, 11 RBIs, and a 912 OPS. Definitely more of a singles hitter. She still hasn't hit a home run this year. Another pitch high. 3-0. Gonna be interesting to see whether this is a swing away situation for such a high average hitter. Here's the 3-0 from the circle. Strike in. Woods the senior awaits the 3-1. This is the hitter's count. And she'll take a walk.
You said it earlier, she allows a lot of walks and a lot of strikeouts. It's just the game she plays, and we'll see how that turns out for the Badgers today.
Yeah, definitely more on base spot management. That's definitely one of the major parts of Shelby Jacobson's game, because that's what happens when you do walk a lot of hitters. So again, to look at Maria Penta, the best hitter by OPS on this team. 3 home runs on the year, but a lot of that is to do with extra base hits in the gap as we get the first pitch.
She did hit 1 double yesterday, going 1 for 3 at bat.
Penta just a shy under 1,000 OPS on the year. Foul ball. As a reminder for steal rules in softball, you have to wait until the pitch fully goes through to be able to steal a base. As you can see, Sammy Woods is awaiting the pitch from Jacobson to do so. Strike in.
Penta had a great series against Indiana with 6 hits and another double for her with a .667 batting average during that series.
She also looks at the changeup over there, but Penta absolutely one of the more dangerous hitters in this lineup. Ground ball to 6. There's the 5. Nearly a 5-4-3 double play without the transfer. Instead, it'll be a force out at second.
Just another good field by the third base. Saw a lot of that yesterday. Big throws. Had a chance at a double play. Couldn't quite get it off.
Coach Healy is out there. Perhaps arguing an interference call here, Johnny.
Maryland and the Badgers not strangers to having the refs talk some calls over. Had quite a few yesterday.
Yeah, replay rules are in play for this game, but I mean, I don't know, what did you see, Johnny?
I'd have to see this again. We did get an obstruction call in game 1, so.
Yeah, I mean, from up here, it just looked like your standard play where the transfer wasn't able to happen. But what I think Coach Healy is arguing is maybe something about how Sammy Woods slid in.
Looks like they've come to an agreement.
Here's Anna McGowan, 980 OPS on the year. Second best hitter by OPS. She has only missed 1 game this year. She also leads the team in home runs. First pitch low. Just trying to fool her with the changeup on the first pitch. Pitch again in the dirt. Penta will get on base. I will see, it is going to be a fielder's choice on the other side as we get a strike here. 13 pitches already in the first for Jacobson. As here's the 2-1. Ground ball into third. Simple play. And that'll be out of the inning. Olivia Bark makes the play. Quiet first inning for Maryland and Wisconsin. Going to be 0-0 going into the bottom of the first inning. We'll be back here on Big Time Plus. We are back here on Big Ten Plus, a 0-0 game as we get a look at the Maryland defense. Major ones to look out for would be Maria Penta at first and Caitlin Cornwell in center field. What did you see from the defense yesterday, Johnny?
They had a really good game holding this great Badgers hitting department to just 3 runs. The 2 errors though was really what decided that game.
Absolutely, and then on the mound, you have Caitlin Olensky as we get a look at the Badger lineup. Kaylee Whidden, obviously at second place, but the first batter up will be Emily Bojan. Hillary Blomberg, another big bat to look out for. Weird lineup construction with the second best hitter being the best power hitter, but it's one of the many things to expect out of Coach Yvette Healy's team. The first pitch is low for ball. On the mound, we have Caitlin Olensky. 4.01 ERA on the year. She has taken a brunt of the innings for this Maryland lineup as this pitch goes foul. Solid contact, though, by Bojan.
Yeah, and she opened up the start of game 1, got taken out midway through after that 3-run home run from Hillary Blomberg. So we'll get to see that matchup again.
Pitch high. This Maryland pitching rotation is definitely more for rotation than the Badger one. So you get a look at Emily Bojan. 1182 OPS on the year.
She's looking to extend her streak of getting on base. She's 3rd in program history. She has a 29-game streak of getting on base.
Aided by some great blade discipline. As we get pitch in, and that will be a strike. As we get a look at Caitlin Olensky, strikeout pitcher, very similar actually to Jacobson, in that both kind of have the strikeout to walk, sort of 3-2 outcome style to their pitching. As another solid contact on the ball by Bojan. It will also go foul. Bojan leads the Badgers in walks this year. Has 8 more than second place. A tie between Kendra Lewis and Olivia Bark. Here's the pitch. It'll go in and make that number 20.
Yeah, the pitches are definitely going to be higher than they were yesterday for Maryland here. And you can see the strategy here is going high, but inside on these righty batters. Don't want to risk any big hits, and as you saw with those 2 big foul balls there.
As there's your on-base streak there, Johnny.
It doesn't matter how you do it. It just happens. That's 30 games now.
Here's Hillary Blomberg. One of the most dangerous bats in this lineup. A 1226 OPS on the year. 9, count them, 9 home runs. Hit by the pitch. Hit on the elbow. That's going to move the runner over. Runners on first and second. No outs in the bottom of the first inning. Olensky already running into a bit of base path trouble. Let's see if she can get out of it. So here's Kendra Lewis. Lewis has a 935 OPS on the year. She started the year on a torrid streak. There was a point where about 8 or 10 games in, she was hitting 750 on the year. Ava Parent will come in to pinch run. She'll be coming in for Blomberg, so she'll be at first. First pitch to Lewis. Looking for the bunt.
Looks like the Badgers are just trying to advance those 2 runners to second and third base.
With such a power bat up, I mean, that's certainly a strategy. Here's Kendra Lewis. It will go just foul. Lewis will now be facing a 1-1 count after the foul bunt. Walensky up to 11 pitches already without an out. Lewis pulls away the bunt.
It's quiet in the batting department yesterday, but did close out the game as a pitcher.
That is her two-way ability, as it's often mentioned here in Wisconsin. So here's another pitch to Lewis. That'll be 3-1. Batter's count brought up. Here's Walensky with the 3-1. There's a strike down low.
You know, game one ended in a walk-off for the Badgers home opener. Same thing happened last year, and it was Kendra Lewis winning the game in the home opener against Iowa 8-7.
Pitcher timeout over here. Walensky wants to talk it through with Zeta Rock behind the dish. As here is the 3-2. And it'll be out. Bases are loaded for junior Olivia Bark. Walensky still hasn't gotten an out.
Not a great start for the Terrapins so far today. In the first inning, they got it done pretty quick defensively, but so far allowing loaded bases with no outs, not a situation you want to be in, especially with how good these Wisconsin batters can be.
As now we do get some more substitutions here into the game is Sydney Spear in a very classic Yvette Healy move, moving her as the pinch runner as we get a look at Olivia Bark, second in the team in walks with 11 and 885 OPS on the year. Someone who's definitely used to moving runners more than sort of being that major impact bat that a lot of the people in this lineup is. It's very important to have those, though, in the lineup, despite her having 26 RBIs on the year.
And she hit the ground out to send the home walk-off, so no matter how she can get it, she can send runners home.
Walensky will be left on the circle for now. First pitch is swinging. Bar, good contact. It goes foul. Bottom of the first, we're already getting some high-octane softball here. Here's the second pitch. Up and in.
Yeah, these pitches are definitely not conservative. They're going high. They're attacking. And that might not be something you want to do against Olivia Bark.
Ground ball up the first base line. That's the first run. Two will come in. Here's the third. A bases clearing triple for Olivia Bark. It's the bottom of the first. No outs recorded. All three runners score.
You talk about her leading the team in doubles. How about a triple to send 3 runners home?
Bark, a classic triple up the first base line. As now here comes Showalter. Showalter, 842 OPS on the year. Very much an all or nothing type hitter. As here is a fly ball into shallow right field. Here comes the runner. Thinks about it again. Bark will hold. Finally, the Terrapins getting out.
Has to start somewhere. Olivia Bark still in scoring position to put together a good string of 2 outs.
20 pitches as well in that bottom of the first already. Here's Danny Lucy. Just over 1,000 OPS on the year. As here's the bunt. Squeeze play at home. She's safe. Bark is safe. A squeeze play. A classic of the Wisconsin softball.
Wow. To get around that level athleticism there as we get another look at that. Just didn't have the foot on the plate. Great play from Olivia Bark.
A classic Wisconsin softball play courtesy of Coach Yvette Healy and the bat of Danny Lucy. Another bunt, some more small ball here. That'll be safe. No one was covering third. She's gonna score. She's gonna score in a bunt attempt. How about that?
The errors were the bottom line of the 6th inning for the Maryland Terrapins, and now it's the same underlined thing for them here at the bottom of the 1st.
No one covered third. We're going to be getting another look at this, or at least it looks like it. There's some discussion going around. Lucy rounded the entire plate. Oh, the runner will be going back. Looks like what they're saying is the bunt was foul.
Looks like it was an illegally hit ball.
Yeah, we might need another look at this. So it looks like we're going to be getting an 0-1 count instead of what initially happened, which is Mackenzie Foster on a bunt attempt scoring Danny Lucy from first.
About the craziest foul you could get.
You can say that again. Oh, 2 count. Be outside. Crazy already in what is a scorcher of a day in Madison, Wisconsin.
Building off the 2 RBIs from yesterday.
Yeah, Foster definitely someone who has improved the moment that Wisconsin softball has come back to Madison. Here's the 1-2. Low again. Here's the 2-2. Olensky up to 25 on the mound. Up the middle. Foster will split the gap. Here's coming home. It's an in. Danny Lucy scores again from first. Illegally hit ball aside. It didn't matter. Mackenzie Foster with a double to score. Danny Lucy. A 5 spot in the first.
And that's 3 RBIs in the last 7 innings.
Mackenzie Foster on an absolute dare the moment softball has returned to Goodman. Looks like we will be getting a pitching change. Aubrey Wurst will be coming in for the Maryland Terrapins. Olensky not the best day on the mound. Only the 1 out.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Worst yet this series. Didn't play in Game 1 or Game 2. Only 38 innings pitched, 2-4 record.
She is the resident firewoman for this team. The person brought in to sort of stabilize when a blow-up does happen. Worst. Those are not the stats that she has today. Worst will be coming in for her first. Olensky, 28 pitches, 14 strikes. However, she gave up a lot of hits on the mound. She gave up 3 hits, 2 walks, 1 hit batter, 1 double, 1 triple. And also, obviously, you got to factor in a classic Wisconsin play. The squeeze play at home plate. Worst will get a bit of a warm-up in as we await the next batter, which will be Kaylee Whiddon. Here's the first pitch. We strike one in. 5 spot already in the first inning. An eventful final game at Goodman already. Ball high.
Seems like a complete flip of the script for the strategy yesterday. It felt like the pitching strategy was bend but don't break, going low and not putting away those strikeout plays that they had the chance to do.
A swinging strike there, Whitten. The little bit of movement on that riser. Good pitch there by Worst. Looking for the second out of the inning. Here's the 1-2. Frame job by Rock. Not enough. Even count. Fly ball. It'll be in the infield. It'll be called by Penta.
Big to get that second out if you're Maryland.
Big for the confidence as well of Worst on the mound. 5 pitches, she gets her first out. And here's Conjure. Maryland basically looking to stop Wisconsin from batting around. 819 OPS on the year for Conjure. Bunt, she pulls it back at the last possible second.
When she does get on base, she's a threat to steal bases as well. Had a big stolen base in game 2 yesterday.
She'll also be hitting shortstop. Pitch 2 is outside. Conjure hits .329 on the year. Ground ball up. The shortstop can't make the play. Here coming home. Another run scores for the Badgers. Mackenzie Foster rounds second to home. And an RBI single for Hannah Conjure. Wisconsin have officially batted around in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, she's building off that big day she had yesterday with 2 hits, 1 double hit, and a run scored with that stolen base as well to really solidify that game 2 win.
And now here comes Bojan. Strike on the outside of the plate. The two-seamer on that riser is looking good for Worst. She's already had a walk today, Bojan. The walk that started this entire inning off, Johnny.
Yeah, and extended that on-base streak to 30 games. Still in the top 3 for program history.
Here's the 0-2. It'll be up, fly ball, center field. Maryland finally gets out of it. Caitlin Cornwell with the play in center. The Badgers put up a 6-spot in the bottom of the first. And we'll be back to see if Maryland can answer. We'll be back here on Big Ten Plus. A scorcher here at Goodman in both the heat and the bats. Wisconsin put up a 6 spot in the bottom of the first off of 4 hits throughout the Badger lineup. Already chased the starter, Caitlin Olensky, and now we get to see if Maryland can answer. Jacobson did that on a base runner in the first, but she will return on the mound. Strike 1. Let's look at Maddie Benson. 979 OPS on the year. One of the better home run hitters in this lineup. Ground ball up into second base, and she will make it. A dribbler up the middle, and unable to make the play is Mackenzie Foster.
Benson was big in the offensive response for Maryland in Game 1 with her first RBI. Didn't get on base in Game 2 yesterday, but huge to get that first single.
I'm sorry, that will be Kaylee Whidden at second base for Wisconsin. First pitch in, first strike on Zeta Rock. Another one of your all or nothing type hitters, a 6 home run hitter on the year, but under the Mendoza line for her batting average. So here's the 1-1. Again, chases, strikeout for Jacobson. Rock chases the changeup.
Strikeouts coming from everywhere in the pitching department for the Badgers. 3 for her yesterday, 1 for Jacobson today, 2 for Felchi yesterday. Collective effort in the series.
As there's the chaser up. A great play at short by Conjure. Down to the knees, and she flips it onto second base. They get the lead runner. Jacobson looking for another out. Get her out of the inning. First pitch away. Fox will be looking to move the runners over and extend this inning for Maryland. She has .210 slugging on the year, so you can definitely expect some small ball here.
Fox was big in the Indiana series, recording 3 hits with the .429 batting average. Looking to respond well here in this Badger series.
Here's the 2-1. A hit up, a nice base hit into shallow right field for Fox. The senior infielder will move the inning on. Caitlin Cornwell will be looking to do the same.
Maryland doing a good job getting on base. It's just going to be about getting those players home. It was the issue last game, only having 0 runs on the board for that.
And he's extending that inning to your best hitters. Cornwell will be looking to bunt. As obviously they'll be looking to move that lineup up to people like Murphy, Woods, and Penta. If Cornwell can get on base, it would do a lot for Maryland's chances to get back in this game. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball into third. Wisconsin will get out of it. Runners on first and second. Wisconsin are able to make the play. It remains a 6-0 game, but Jacobson has definitely been hit. We'll be back here on Big Ten Plus. We are back here on Big Ten Plus. Wisconsin currently lead the Maryland Terrapins 6-0 as we get a look at Coach Yvette Healy in her 16th year as Badger head coach.
Yeah, and she's known for bringing energy to the program. Once the Badgers have a lead or some energy building up, it's hard to stop them.
Yeah, she has definitely instilled a small ball mentality in Wisconsin that has carried forward to some lineups that really are signature to the Wisconsin name. Worst will start back on the mound for Maryland after Caitlin Olensky was unable to get out of the first. She did a good job as the firewoman, though. Blomberg's been hit by a pitch earlier today. Second time up, and she takes the changeup. Blomberg on base percentage this year, .468. As here's a shot into left field. Forget about it. Hillary Blomberg, it's gone.
And that's the first home run for either side since game one, and what better way to do it? Hillary Blomberg, the team leader in home runs. It's huge for the Badgers.
10th on the year. Wisconsin's catcher puts them on the board once again. Just a signature rope shot. Bowled off the bat. Wisconsin now leads 7-0 as here's Kendra Lewis. Blomberg hit the first home run of Wisconsin's return to Goodman. And in a video where the softball team was told to predict who would, all of them said Hillary. She gets the Terrapins again. As here is Kendra Lewis. She walked in her first plate appearance. Moved over the runners for Olivia Bark. Here's the 1-1. Change up and in. It's caught between the decision. She'll foul it back. Worst up to 18 pitches. So here's the 1-2. Lewis, they're going to check if she goes. She doesn't. Lewis now with an even count in the bottom of the second. Lewis will await, and count runs full. Maryland will be looking for the out.
Tough challenge with the lefty batter here.
Lefty-lefty matchup, lefty-righty matchup, as Lewis will take a walk. still in the mind of thinking about the lefty pitcher who was on the mound for Maryland earlier today.
Well, they had to make some type of change here with the 7-0 deficit here.
Worst has been able to navigate the base path trouble, but here's Olivia Bark. She had the triple that broke this game open. As she'll look at the changeup. Lewis on the base paths has not stolen a base this year. So this will definitely be looking for extra bases. 0-1 goes inside. Worst is looking solid in the circle though. The changeup outside taken. 2-1 count for Olivia Bark. Strike in on the outskirts of the plate.
Strikeout would be huge for the confidence and gaining back some momentum here for the Terrapins.
They would also be looking for a ground ball double play if they can do so. Here's the pitch on the even. They had one to waste, so they take the 3-2. Full count. Runner on first. Bark. They're gonna say she swung. Worst gets the strikeout.
First strikeout since game 1 for the Terrapins. The pitching style right there, going low and tight to the righty pitcher, worked out well. Got her to swing. Got a batter off the diamond here.
It was that two-seamer once again. They're going to check the runner. That two-seamer off Worst inside. Sword, as they like to say. Here's the 1-0. That'll be called a strike. Showalter now in for the Badgers. She'll swing at it. It'll fall into shallow left field. The runners move on. Runners now on first and second for Danny Lucy. She already has a hit today. She's hitting .393 on the year. Lucy fly ball into foul territory. It will hit the nets a few inches away from the second out of the inning. Lucy did have a single in the first that led to a run scoring. Here's Worst. Ball high. Oh, they're going to say that it hit her.
Still trying to figure out what happened.
I think what they're going to claim is that it hit the bottom of her bat or something like that. So they're going to say it's something grazed off her, not enough for a hit by pitch. It'll be a 1-1. Fly ball into foul territory. Back into stands. Count will be 1-2. Was not joking when when I said we really seen it all here at Goodman today, haven't we?
Absolutely.
A massive rise ball. Worst gets out of it. A good strikeout there of Lucy. She has one more to go through. Second strikeout off the inning. Foster will take ball 1. She had the double earlier today that scored a run. As here's a shot, a fly ball, it will be in left field. Maryland gets out of it, but not before a tower shot by Hillary Blomberg for Wisconsin. Wisconsin leads 7-0 going into the third. We'll be back here on Big Ten Plus. We are back here on Big Ten Plus as we get a look at Coach Lauren Karn in her 3rd season as the Maryland Terrapins coach.
Yeah, and a 2-time Horizon League champion with the Oakland Grizzlies. But one of the things I want to emphasize here is that in Game 1, she emphasized the mid-game adjustment to take easy pitches early on when you get them, and that was huge for getting back in that game. Going to need to make the same type of adjustments here to get back and dig out of this hole.
She's had experience at the top level of the game when it comes to winning, and she's established quite a good program here in her 3 seasons at Maryland. Lineup turns over for the Terrapins. Bailey Murphy, the leadoff hitter, will be back up. As this is a fly ball into left field, shallow, gonna be foul. Goodman, always a beautiful place to look at because you get a nice little look at the lake.
It does affect some of the swirling wind, but today it's a little more tame and higher temperatures. Nice outside today.
As they say, man, it's a hot one.
For Wisconsin standards.
Really is. 1-2 count. Murphy. Jacobson will stay in the circle. It'll be a ball. Defense remains the same for Wisconsin. As here, an even count for Murphy. Ground ball, it'll be foul.
Jacobson, one of the senior leaders of this team. She's spotting up and spinning it, according to Coach Healy. So far, that's true today.
She's looked good when it comes to maintaining the base paths. Slow change up and high. Fouled again by Murphy. Even count remains for the Terrapins. We'll be looking for a runner to eat into this Wisconsin lead. Murphy will swing, and it'll be foul. She gets the end of it. Staying alive in this at-bat. Murphy, the only lefty due up. As she gets a ground ball to third base, simple play is made. Bark gets the runner, Murphy. 1 out.
Another great defensive play by the Badgers to be able to throw this to first base as quick as it did, as close as it was to get that out.
Just a simple ball up, but Bark makes the play. Well, Woods walked in her first at bat.
Woods one of the better players of getting on base and running around those bases. And speaking of running around, she did try out for the women's Olympic flag football team, missing the last game of the Indiana series.
She looks to bunt here. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to make the team. But always a fun story when you do see those athletes trying and branching out to becoming 2 or even 3 sport athletes.
We know a lot about flag football here.
Really do. Woods will take the pitch outside. 2-1.
What was the score of the flag football game we played in recently?
It was 49-23. 22, actually.
We'll leave it up to interpretation to which score was ours.
Ball outside. Batters count 4. Sammy Woods. 400 batting average on the year. They'll be relying on her to get on base. Change up in, fools at the last minute. Jacobson. Really a good job at tunneling the pitch. She was pitching high and then used that high pitch to fool the batter into the changeup, as now we do get a full count. Swung on and fouled. Woods, if she gets on base, has 3 stolen bases on the year. She has been caught twice, though. Full count once again. Jacobson on pitch 42. Swung on, foul. Just out of the grasp of Olivia Bark. On deck will be Maria Penta. Getting runners on base for someone with that home run ability would be incredibly valuable for the Terrapins. Here's the full count. Swung on, fouled again. Opposite side, Maryland doing a good job of fighting. Running up the pitch count on Jacobson. Jacobson, full count. Swung on into right field. Whitten will be under it. Maryland, though, do get Jacobson to throw a lot on that circle. And now we'll set up Maria Penta. Highest OPS on the team for Maria Penta. Swung on and fouled right up here.
Yeah, that was coming right towards us.
Thankfully, a net is there between us.
A net, a window. We're protected well.
Bento looking at the 0-1. Ground ball up to Jacobson. She gets out of it. A clean 1-2-3. Despite some really good battling on 2 strikes by the Maryland Terrapins. Jacobson's able to get out of it. We will be back here on Big Ten Plus. Wisconsin leads 7-0. pitch, foul ball, and back into the stands on the first pitch. Worst remains on the mound. Had some great strikeouts in the top of the second. She did, however, give up a dour shot to Hillary Blomberg, first batter of that inning. So get a look at Whitten. She popped out in the first. And now, ground ball straight to short. Play is made by Woods.
Good start by Maryland. Had a great defensive game in game 2, starting fast here in this inning.
Just a simple ground ball there. Maryland will be looking to slow down the pace of the game so they can get back into this by chipping away at that lead, as here is Hannah Conger. We'll be looking to bunt. Umpires for today's game behind the plate would be Charles Blackwell. First base side we have Brian Smith, and then third base side we have Mindy Villa. As here is the 0-1 by Worst. Fouled back by Conger. Worst has stabilized a Maryland pitching staff that gave up a 6 spot in that first inning. As here is the 0-2 by Worst. Ball away. 2 strikeouts already. Only giving up the 1 walk. 3 hits, though, given up by Aubrey Worst. One, 2 is flown into center field. Underneath it will be Caitlin Cornwell. She had the catch that ended the first inning, and now she gets second over here.
So far this inning, both teams doing a great job of keeping each other off the bases.
What Worst is doing a good job of, almost better than Jacobson has. She's doing a good job of keeping the pitch count down. She's attacking the batters and getting the results that she wants. As the lineup turns are over, Bojan back up. She had a walk in the first, and she flew out to end the batting around that Wisconsin did in the first. Bojan takes the strike in. The 0-2. Worst will be looking for strikeout number 3. Queuing up, here's Worst. Ball away. She's really stabilized the pitching today, really, hasn't she, Johnny?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting her in early. Aside from that home run, as we mentioned before, she's really stabilized this storm.
Worst. Fly ball by Bojan. It will go foul.
Bojan was the walk-off runner in game 1 to take that thing 6-5.
She has been an effective leadoff hitter, giving her teammates the chance, as they say. Here's the pitch. Bojan will fly it out and will be just foul. Goodman's dimensions are even on all sides. Be 200 to left and right foul pole, and to center be about 236 and 218. As here is the 1-2 by Worst. They'll be up high. Even count now with 2 outs in the top of the third. Sorry, the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. Fouled back.
That might have hit the back of the press box.
Yeah, you just get a massive thud on the mic. How about that?
We're seeing everything today.
Really are. One of those games where so many runs happen that just everything happens. As here is the even count. The ball in. Well, from 0-2, Bojan has worked the count full.
Just a matter of getting on the base. Over 500 on base percentage.
Worst up to pitch 50. Here's the full count. Bojan fouls it again.
Good news is the press box remains intact after that one.
Nothing hit it up there this time. Full count. We'll do it again. Bojan, fly ball up to the third baseman. It's dropped. Maddie Benson, for what would have been very clearly the end, has dropped the ball.
The errors have been key for Maryland's defense in clutch parts of the game. Called her Maddie Benson Jr. or Odell Benson Jr. yesterday after making an incredible catch. Not so much on that catch right there, as it keeps the Badgers alive here at the bottom of the third.
That will absolutely be an E5. Benson extends the inning, as here is Hillary Blomberg. Ball away. I mean, if you're Maryland in this situation, surely just intentionally walking Blomberg would be on the plate, considering it's 2 outs.
That almost seems like the right strategy to do when you have as great of a hitter as Blomberg is.
Ball in the dirt.
She hits at .448 batting average when there are runners on base.
So you gotta watch out for that home run power. We already saw it earlier today. Here's the 2-0.
Worth noting as well, she needs one more home run to enter top 3 in program history.
It's one of the best freshmen in Wisconsin history. Put up in standout numbers. Then continue to enter second. And now here's the 3-0. Pretty much an intentional walk. Kind of not giving her anything to hit. Which is absolutely the right choice. Kendra Lewis, though, not to be slept on. This is a very skilled hitter. .371 batting average on the year. She's already walked today. Lewis, fly ball into left field. And the catcher, oh, the center fielder in left field, very nearly colliding on that one. Caitlin Cornwell able to make the play. And Maryland gets out of it. Still remains a 7-0 game going into the 4th. We'll be back here on Big Ten Plus. We are back on Big Ten Plus as we get a look at the Big Ten softball standings. Wisconsin 9th, but ahead of them a massive slate. Major one to note, though, is Nebraska. That's the next series you're going to get at Goodman. That'll be April 12th to 11th to the 13th, sorry.
Yeah, the Badgers had to get their footing in the conference, sitting at 2-4 going into this series against Maryland. Picked up 2 key wins to get back to 500 to win today, putting them at 5-4. Puts them right back in that conversation.
Jacobson's back on the mound. Here is Anna McGowan, the cleanup hitter. Some major storylines to follow as well in the Big Ten. UCLA being really good, but also Washington dominating the Big Ten so far, despite being a lower rank than both Nebraska and UCLA. Swinging strike there for McGowan.
Yeah, the Badgers had the misfortune of opening up the conference slate with UCLA and getting swept by them. But bouncing back here in this Maryland series and getting the series win against Penn State 2-1.
The bats have really been waking up for the Badgers, along with the pitching stabilizing. That'll be the 1-2 as strike on the outside for Jacobson, still under 50, which is actually less than worst. Ground ball up the third base side goes foul. Here's the pitch by Jacobson. It'll be away. Even count for McGowan. Fouled behind. Jacobson finally up to pitch 50. Here we do the 2-2 again. Fly ball into right field. Underneath it is Riley Crane. She's able to make the play.
Now that's a great catch. Hitting a good spot. Decent way to get that glove under that softball.
She had the jump on it. It's a nice simple play in right field. But those are the ones that need to be made. Maddie Benson now had the error at third. Maryland were able to get out of it though. She takes the first ball low. One Benson. It'll be ground ball up the first base side, will go foul. Maryland still looking for a run. They haven't scored since the first game of this series. They'll absolutely not be looking to go silent in the night.
And their scoring really did come in bunches, getting two players on base and relying on Sammy Woods to bat him home, and Maddie Benson with an RBI as well in game one. Came in spurts in the 5th and 7th inning.
2-1, swung on. Jacobson's able to even the count. Even count here for Jacobson. It'll be ground ball up the first base side, foul. Even count. Fouled again.
Bumps the ump. Yeah, he's smiling about it. Little light tap.
One out in the top of the 4th. Away. Count will finally run full. Really good effort on in the batter's box by Benson. As here's a fly ball into right field. They're able to get it. Maddie Benson, a classic struggle at bat. Maryland gets a runner on.
It's good to see one come off the bat. Quiet game too, but to get on base is huge. and momentum can be growing here for the Terrapins. So we're talking about something.
Bench hitter right now for Maryland. It'll be Gracie Wilson from the looks of things. Gracie Wilson will be coming in for the catcher, Zeta Rock. Runner on first for Wilson. Strike on the outside part of the plate.
The sophomore from Frederick, Maryland. Hasn't seen at bat too much, but when she does get runs on runners to come home. She has 4 RBIs on the year.
Wilson, the 0-1 fly ball, will be in foul territory. It'll go into the stands.
Dropped by the fan and rolls by our camera guy.
We'll get a nice little shout out at the end of this broadcast, obviously. Wilson will face the 0-2, Jacobson. Still on the mound and looking solid. As here's a fly ball, foul again.
Fans got a second chance there.
Oh-2 for Wilson. Strikeout for Jacobson. Changing the speed on that.
3rd strikeout on the day.
It will be Jaylee Williams up again for Maryland. She had the single in the 2nd inning. Runner on first, though, as charging up. A nice play. Wisconsin will get out of it. Simple play by Whiddon on the first pitch. Jacobson's able to get out of a runner on first. Wisconsin still leads 7-0.
Replay bump help.
We are back for the bottom of the 4th inning here at Goodman Diamond. Wisconsin still lead the Maryland Terrapins 7-0. Worst still on the mound for Maryland. Olivia Bark will be up for Wisconsin.
Really sparked the scoring in this one with the triple in the first.
As here's a ground ball to the second baseman. Simple play will be made. Will be Caroline Fox. Jacqueline Showalter now up for Wisconsin. 1 pitch, 1 out for Maryland. Ball low. Fouled away by Showalter.
She's described as scary at the plate, being the home run hitter that she is. 247 batting average, so we'll need to be careful if you're Maryland in this pitching situation for Worst.
All or nothing type hitter, as they say. Another foul ball there for Foster. Sorry, Showalter. Two. Count goes even. Even count. Showalter will foul it back into the stands.
It's been a lot more fouls today.
Really has. It's because hitters are forced to stay alive.
Getting more opportunities.
Here's the 2-2. Showalter again, more solid contact. Foul again.
Right on cue.
All the fans going home happy. Showalter again. Even count. Fouled again. Strikeout there for Worst. Gets her with the changeup.
And that's her third strikeout.
Good stuff on the circle.
Maryland's done a good job in the pitching department, picking up the slack and weathering the storm after that 6-0 run in the first.
Emma King will pitch hit for Wisconsin.
Getting Emma King on base is key for the Badgers scoring in this inning. She is very fast.
He's one of the best pinch hitters in the nation last year. And again, another classic Yvette Healy move. Freshman being used more as the bit pieces to fill out the team. King will bunt and it'll go foul. Another very signature thing that is very reminiscent of some of the Foster players across all batted ball sports. She sort of charges the batter's box during her hit. Allows her to get out of the box faster. She'll take ball. Bunch of players on the Maryland team do the exact same thing as well. Another bunt will go foul. 2 outs in the inning for Worst. She's up to pitch 70. She could get out of it scot-free. Fouled again by King. Non-extra base hit type hitter. Doesn't matter though, because why hit a double when you can hit a single and steal the second base? King, ball low.
She's got a very cool hometown name. Second to Ashwaubenon, of course, but League City, Texas.
Obviously in reference to her Barrett, who went to Ashwaubenon. King will strike out. Worst gets out of it. 70 pitches on the day. Great firewoman job by Audrey Worst. Wisconsin still leads 7-0, but haven't scored since the second. We'll be back here on Big Ten Plus. We are back on Big Ten Plus. We get a look at the Maryland Terrapins schedule. They have a series at Penn State before going to Georgetown, and then big one, ranked Oregon coming to Maryland, and then a nice little rundown on their schedule with Howard.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough conference slate no matter who you are in the Big Ten, matching up against all these ranked teams, but it's fairly light going forward for Maryland, but you got to really stack up these conference wins if you want to talk about some postseason.
It will be interesting to see how those ranked series go. Maryland have the potential to be a really good team. Their batters, when they're on, are pretty dangerous when you can look at them. And then the pitching is solid, as we see Audrey Wurst having shut down the Badgers outside of a Hillary Blomberg home run in the second. It's looked really solid so far. Jacobson back of the mound will face Caroline Fox. First pitch is fouled away.
Right to the tennis courts, that one.
As I think Michigan and Wisconsin are playing a slate. A 1 pitch here. Fox will be looking for the bunt. Showalter was charging it straight from first. She read it. One. Looking for the curveball. High and in, just missed by Jacobson. She's coming up on pitch 70 as well. Be interesting to see when Wisconsin decide to look towards their bullpen. Jacobson, ball low.
Got to be happy with everyone who's in that bullpen. Her had a great game yesterday with 3 strikeouts, and Felci came in for 1 and had 2.
We might be seeing some sophomore action with Jordan Felci on the mound. Sorry, in the circle. But Jacobson gets the walk. And Fox moves to first. And Wisconsin will be running into some base paths trouble already into the 5th. Again, Maryland will be looking to eat away at this Wisconsin lead if they want a chance to come back into this. Fouled behind by Cornwell.
Maryland looking to get some runners on base for Bailey Murphy and Sammy Woods to send home.
Again, it's turning that lineup over. They're already coming up to the plate. So it's a matter of how many runners they have when they do come up at the plate. Some changes in the defense. Riley Crane will be moving to second base. Mackenzie Foster is in left field. Emma King is in center, and Kendra Lewis will now move to right for Wisconsin. Pitch is fouled away by Cornwell. Jacobson in the circle, now firmly cemented on that mound. It's the top of the 5th. Wisconsin lead the Maryland Terrapins 7-0. Count is 1-2 on Cornwell. No strike called there. It'll be a ball. Count runs even.
Jacobson looking for the 4th strikeout.
Walks have not been a major thing for Jacobson today. She only has 2 today. Cornwell, the flare will be fair. It will be fair just up the left of the third base line. And Jacobson will now be facing runners on first and second as the lineup turns over. Bailey Murphy with a chance to fully blow this game open for the Terrapins. She's 0 for 2 today, but they need a hit now. Murphy, grounder up to Jacobson. It will move the runners, though. A productive out for Murphy.
Then Sammy Woods gets the opportunity to pick up some RBIs here. Something she did well in the 5th inning of the first game as well.
Woods is 5th on the team in RBI. She only has 11 on the year. But they're needed now. Woods will take ball 1. Woods getting on base would also mean bases loaded if everything remains the same for Mariah Penta. And then that could truly be a wide open game for Maryland. Fouled away. Woods walked in the first. The only base path trouble for Jacobson at that time. Then grounded out in her previous at bat. Here's the 1-1. Fly ball straight up. Blomberg drops it. Blomberg is unable to pull it in.
She made a similar play yesterday, made the catch. Tough one to see right here, but yeah, as we look at it.
That's not Hillary Blomberg behind the dish, though. That is Addison Weary. Backup catcher for Wisconsin, unable to reel it in. So this will continue. It'll be a 1-2 count. Woods has a lifeline. Can she give Maryland one as well? Ball again. Even count. He'll be fouled. Apologies to freshman catcher Addison Weary. Behind the dish for Wisconsin. But it'll be runners on second and third. Even count. Jacobson up to 82 pitches. Shutout still in the books if they can get out of it. It'll be ground ball up the butts. From her knees, Bark is able to make the play.
Another great throw out from Bark. Big defensive play for the Badgers.
Bark, almost a sandblaster is what they like to call it. And she's able to make the play. Showalter reels it in. Here's Mariah Penta. Highest OPS on the Terrapins. But Wisconsin now with an opportunity to get out of it with 0 runs on the board for the Terrapins. Ball low. They've held Penta so far. Penta, swing and a drive to left field. We have ourselves a ball game.
Exactly.
Mariah Penta with a home run straight to left center. Bowled away. Almost the exact same spot as the Blomberg shot. And Maryland are back in it. The shutout is over. They finally scored after 1.5 games, and now they're back in it. Could that be the lifeline they need?
As you said, exactly the same spot and exactly the same inning. An offensive explosion for the Maryland Terrapins to get right back into this game. Great hit.
Mariah Penta, the best hitter on the team by OPS. Gives Maryland the shot they need to win this. McGowan now up to the dish, the best home run hitter on the team. Jacobson remains in the game. However, there is motion in the bullpen. It won't be Kendra Lewis. She is still out there in the outfield. So it looks like Jordan Felchi will be warming up. Here's a shot. Left field fly ball once again, but underneath it will be Mackenzie Foster. The Badgers get out of it, but not before Mariah Penta gives Maryland the lifeline they need to potentially win this. A 3-run shot to make this 7-3. We'll be back here on Big Ten Plus. We are back here on Big Ten Plus as we get a look at the Wisconsin schedule. They'll be at Purdue next weekend. Loyola Chicago will be coming in. And then the big one, number 7 Nebraska, will be visiting Goodman Diamond in what will be a major series for the Badgers.
Yeah, after getting swept by UCLA, it's just been getting back the footing so that they can come into this Nebraska series with a good head on their shoulders.
Fouled away by Foster. It'll be a major test for the Badgers if they have improved from that UCLA game. It's like, how much have they? This is the true test of just how good this Badger lineup truly is. And they've looked good. Audrey Wurst still on the mound for Maryland. She's taken the ball since the first inning after Caitlin Olensky gave up a bunch of hits and walks and also hit Blomberg in the process. And she has stabilized this team. She has shut down the Badgers and leads us to now where we are, where Maryland are only 4 runs away from this game being theirs. Here's the 1-2. Ball away. There was some heat on that, though. Foster has had a hit today, a double that scored first run of the game.
She really was the player of the game yesterday, getting 2 RBIs in that game. Gonna need her to get on base, though. Really put this thing away.
Just tells you so much about this Badger lineup that a hitter like Mackenzie Foster is 7th in the lineup. Here's the 3-2. Fly ball into left field. Will this split the gap? It will. It's off the glove of Jaylee Williams and unable to reel it in. The second double of the day for Mackenzie Foster.
Just as we were talking about that her being the player of the game yesterday, she hits an amazing double, splits 2 players. Big for the Badgers here to respond to the Maryland offensive explosion.
And Addison Weary now in the game for Wisconsin. She comes in for Whitten and can truly break this game open. Nearly hits her on the first pitch. Bullpen action for Maryland as well. Here's the 1-0. High changeup. Weary is 611 OPS on the year. 3 RBIs on the year, though they'll be looking for that, the runner in scoring position. As here's a fly ball straight into left field. It's gone! Addison Weary takes over the catcher spot for Blomberg. And would you know it, it's a home run. Her first at Goodman. Badgers now lead 9-3. 6-run lead, bottom of the 5th. And after a great game by Worst, she finally gives up another long ball, this time to the freshman, Addison Weary.
From Seymour, Wisconsin, what a way to get your first home run. The team is loving it.
And that's a tower shot right there. Full body into the pulled swing. Very similar again to that Penta shot earlier. And now Wisconsin leads 9-3. Worst will remain in the game. Maryland don't think they have their pitchers ready yet. Conger will face Worst. You can absolutely expect, though, maybe the pitching change to come when the lineup turns over after Conger's at bat. Here's Worst. Ball high.
It's a matter of which pitcher we'll see, Booker or Wiegand. Saw Wiegand a little bit in game 1, pitched a good amount of that game, the freshman.
Foul behind. Six-run lead in the bottom of the 5th. It's going to be 8 or more runs as a lead if Wisconsin is looking to finish the final game of their first series back with a mercy. It's definitely in the conversation now. Here's the full count pitch. Ball high. Conger is on base. Lineup will turn over. And now coming out is Elsie Wiegand for Maryland.
Yeah, she came in the back end of game 1 as well. The freshman from Redding, California. And they talked a lot in game 1 about the adjustment from high school softball to college softball and pitching against these Big Ten batters. It's going to be tough, and there's definitely going to be some hits for the Badgers to have on the table.
Alicia Wiegand, obviously, she's going to be tossed with dealing with some very talented hitters who've already had an impact on today's game.
But first you'll see Riley Crane, the senior, 5'7" from Tucson, Arizona. She's only been at bat 5 times so far this season.
Yeah, she's mainly being used as a defensive player. Because she really can play everywhere on this diamond. She's had infield time. She's had outfield time as well. And she's been effective in both places.
Yeah, and Coach Healy is definitely known to substitute defensively more than the average coach.
It's part of what makes her lineup construction so interesting in Wisconsin. As we do get Riley Crane. As she'll be looking to bunt. Will be a ball. She pulls back in time. Wiegand. Massive foul ball by Crane, though. Goes back into the Wisconsin bullpen.
As we mentioned earlier, she's been at bat 5 times, 0 for 5, looking for the first hit.
Looking to prevent the mercy right now. Bunt pulled back again. It'll be 2-1.
And Conger known to steal bases as well. Got it done in game 2. Let's see if she can get it done in game 3.
So get a look at Wiegand's stats on the year. Very similar profile to the pitchers we've seen. Ground ball, it splits the shortstop and third baseman. Riley Crane, first hit on the year.
You couldn't place it any better than that. Over the first glove, under the second. Gets them both on base.
Nice for what plays across Goodman Diamond as here comes Hillary Blomberg. Opportunity to potentially mercy this game. Ball high.
It's the key matchup of a freshman pitcher versus the best hitter on the Badgers, Hillary Blomberg. Already has a home run today, 2 on the series.
Here's the pitch. Fly ball into center field. It's robbed. No, it's gone. As Blomberg walks it off. Wisconsin now leads 12-3 as Wisconsin mercies the Maryland Terrapins.
Wow.
As that's an 8 or more run lead played with 5 or more innings. Mercy rule Hillary Blomberg. She calls game.
And she is very clearly the player of this series with her 3rd home run of the series, 2nd 3-run home run. The matchup against the freshman pitcher, you got to think that Coach Healy saw that one coming a mile away.
Alicia Wiegand does a good job of throwing in the changeup. Only problem is Blomberg expected it, and she gets out ahead of it, and it's gone. That's her 2nd home run off the day, 3rd home run off the series.
Yesterday being the defensive showcase for the Badgers, today the offensive showcase. We got to see a little bit of everything today.
As Wisconsin will wrap up their first series back at Goodman, whilst the sun gets obscured through the clouds. Wisconsin were able to send the fans home a little bit earlier than usual. And this was a performance really exemplified by an incredible first inning output. All the hitters delivering. Caitlin Olensky for Maryland. She tried her best, but was unable to control the sheer extra base power of the Badgers.
Yeah, 10 hits for the Badgers today, 10 of 23, 4.35 batting average. Once again, Maryland had trouble getting hits with only 5 today. Badgers really did put together any questions that there might have been about their offense.
As you get a nice little look at varsity as it's happening, but Maryland will be able to dust themselves off. Wisconsin will be able to dust themselves off. They have a big series coming up against Purdue, and then back home. And then back home they come for the game. We would like to thank our crew: Christy Farswell, Katie Smith, Elias Arnold, Savannah Freya, Megan Maluski, Jonas Sanchez Dorado, Carter Burmaster, Girali Gutierrez, Mafe Pavanello, Cameron Schneider, and Isaiah Foster for the great production that we have put over here. Johnny, any final thoughts?
What a way to end the series. A sweep, offensive showcase, defensive showcase, and a walk-off to open it up here at the Goodman Diamond for the fans.
Well, that will do it for us here at Big Ten Plus. Wisconsin sweeps the series, their first at Goodman. Blomberg walks it off for the Mercy. It's 12-3. We thank you so much for listening to Big Ten Plus. His name was Johnny Raider. My name was Anirudh Ani Nambudri. Thank you so much for tuning in.